Imagine a peaceful spring morning on the legendary Hudson River, sunlight shimmering on calm waters, promising a day full of joy and adventure. Angelika Graswald and her fiancé, Vincent Viafore, set out for what should have been a simple kayaking trip. But within hours, their story would twist into a chilling mystery that shook a nation. What really happened on that cold April day? Was it a tragic accident or something far darker? Join me as we dive deep into the unsettling case of Angelika Graswald, the kayak killer, or a desperate woman trapped in a nightmare. This is a story of love, betrayal, and a shocking confession that left America speechless. Mystery in the Hudson River Valley, the case of Angelika Graswald, the fateful trip on the river. On April 26, 2015, the sky over New York State still held a trace of spring's chill. Golden sunlight lightly blanketed the surface of the Hudson River, making it appear unusually peaceful. Angelika Graswald, a 35-year-old woman from Latvia, and her fiancé, Vincent Viafore, 46, decided to go kayaking on the legendary river, a trip they had planned for a long time. Angelika often shared her life on social media, bright smiling photos, yoga by the lake, and outings with Vincent. They were once called the perfect couple. But just a few hours after the trip began, an emergency call rang at the 911 dispatch center. "My friend's kayak flipped. He's not coming up. I can't see him anywhere." The panicked woman on the call was Angelika. Rescue teams were deployed immediately. They searched throughout the Cold Spring area, where Angelika claimed Vincent had fallen. The Hudson's waters were icy and powerful. At that time, the water temperature was only about 10 degrees Celsius, 50 Fahrenheit. A person without protective gear could become hypothermic in just minutes. Angelika said Vincent wasn't wearing a life jacket. Strong winds and swift currents caused his kayak to capsize. She tried to paddle over to help, but her own kayak nearly flipped. She said she nearly died, but the rescue workers sensed something was off. Angelika, they said, didn't seem very distraught. She spoke to the police with a strange demeanor, both fearful and as if she were trying to recite a rehearsed script. When asked for specific details about where Vincent fell, she was confused. At times, she smiled. At other times, she calmly said, "I feel like he's still nearby." And while Vincent was still missing, Angelika went on social media and posted a selfie with the caption, "Life is a journey." 11 days later, Vincent Viafore was found. His body had drifted about a kilometer from where he was reported missing. Cause of death? Drowning. No visible signs of trauma. The police began to grow suspicious. They quietly monitored Angelika, now living alone in the apartment they once shared. Then, on May 4, 2015, she was summoned for questioning. The interrogation lasted over 11 hours. During it, Angelika began to break down. In a leaked video, she confessed, "I pulled the plug on his kayak. I knew that would make it unstable. I wanted him dead. I felt free. I want him to die." A confession or a relief? Angelika Graswald said this during the interrogation room, with two investigators recording. Her face did not show panic, but rather as if she was shedding a heavy burden. "I removed the drain plug from his kayak. I didn't push him into the river, but I didn't do anything to save him. I felt relieved when he disappeared." The confession shocked the police. Immediately, she was arrested on charges of second-degree murder and manslaughter. The media got involved. Major newspapers like the New York Times, CBS News, NBC, and ABC's 2020 program all reported on the kayak killer woman. A slender Eastern European woman with a mysterious smile was accused of plotting to let her lover drown in the icy river. But is the truth really that simple? Part 5, the dark side of social media, the girl on Instagram. When Angelika was arrested, people dug through every trace of her social media. Sexy photos, alluring yoga poses, captions full of innuendo like, "Life is a cycle," analyzed as evidence of the cold indifference of a ruthless killer. Yet Angelika's friends told a different story. She was cheerful, somewhat eccentric, loved art and daydreaming. She had an unhappy relationship with Vincent. According to a close friend, he controlled her a lot, didn't want her to go out, made her do housework, didn't allow her to pursue her passion for dancing and singing. Angelika said she felt like a prisoner in her own apartment. The defense lawyer also discovered that Vincent had a history of abuse, a divorced man with a temper. Still, does that justify a death? Part 6, Accidental Death or a Sophisticated Plan? The kayak Vincent used was found not to meet safety standards, lacking a watertight system. But Angelika admitted to removing the drain plug, causing water to flood in faster if there were waves. Additionally, she knew Vincent was not wearing a life jacket and had poor swimming skills. Prosecutors argued it was a perfect murder plan without direct contact. She didn't push, strangle, or hit, simply let natural elements do the rest. However, the defense countered. Angelika's confession was not made with full awareness. She was interrogated for over 11 hours without a lawyer present, in a fatigued and vulnerable state. They called in psychological experts to analyze, concluding Angelika suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. A psychologist said, "She is not a killer. She is a victim who had been suppressed for too long, and in a moment of horror, she felt liberated from the oppressive man." After months of detention and awaiting trial, a surprise happened. Angelika Graswald agreed to plead guilty to involuntary manslaughter in exchange for not having to stand trial for second-degree murder. She pleaded guilty in July 2017 and was sentenced to 20 months in prison. But having already been held for nearly 2 years prior, she was released just a few months later. The whole of America was stunned. Vincent's family was outraged, calling it a miscarriage of justice. But the law could do no more. Angelika had paid her price under a legal agreement. After release, she was deported back to Latvia. To this day, the Angelika Graswald case remains a divisive mystery in American public opinion. Some believe she was an abused woman trying to escape her own hell. Others believe she was a cold, calculating person, exploiting nature to kill without leaving evidence. She once shared with the press, "I don't expect anyone to forgive me, but I know one thing clearly. I did not kill Vincent. If I am guilty, it is for not doing anything to save him when I could have." That statement, more than anything, cuts like a knife into the listener's mind. No one knows exactly what happened on the cold waters of the Hudson River that day. And perhaps the truth has drifted away with Vincent. So, what do you think about this case? Angelika Graswald, a victim or a villain? The truth may forever lie beneath the cold waters of the Hudson River, but her story still echoes in our minds. If you found this story intriguing, please leave your thoughts in the comments below and share your perspective. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss more shocking true stories. I'm eager to hear what you think. Thank you for watching until the end. See you in the next video.